Wow. I was amazed, inspired. I had no idea it was that good. The bar is so high, and so thank you. I'm so pleased to be part of this group, and I don't know how to top it, how you will top it the next time. We will.
Anthony will top it.
My partner is actually not a fan of choirs. I had to train her a date night dinner to convince her to come, and she was also wowed. Said it was entertaining, said it was much more than a choir. It was a performance, it was a show, it was stories, it was inspiring, and that's why everyone should be there. More people should come, and I wanted to share that recently that even for those who don't participate in this community regularly, it was an awesome experience. So, thank you.
As many of you know, I also sing in the Annex Singers. So one of the Annex Singers came to a concert. She said, well, that was so much fun. That choreography was awesome. That's what I enjoy about singing out too, among other things. Years ago, I sang in university choirs, and we sang this wonderful classical music, but all this serious stuff. So it's fun to sing something light and really have fun at the same time.
Come on, Michael.
Just last one to talk.
Stand up.
I want to bring always, there's one friend of mine, her mother always comes only to our concert, even though her daughter's affiliated with another one. We won't go to them because they just stand there with their music and sing, even though they're really good. And she loves the fact that we have a show. My partner Rob, who always tells us like it is, for the choir and myself. The concert a 9 out of 10. Jody's dress a 10 out of 10. And Carlos's outfit an 11 out of 10.
Okay, next, and I forget your name.
Hey, Maya.
I saw you was the hand of the person behind you. Sorry.
Aww.
The favorite of my friends who came was that's absolutely gorgeous. Love is everything. I said that was with it. Trains and coaches and
So my mom and my godmom came and they really enjoyed it, and my godmom was the one at the first concert who won the cinema pack, the gift basket. So she gave a lot of it to me, so I took it on my Facebook page. So yeah,
So two friends moved away to Calgary about 5 years ago, and they just recently moved back. And so when they did move back, they got in touch with me quickly and said, "Are you still seeing us singing out?" I said, "Yes." And they said, "So when's the next concert?" I said, "Well, it's in 3 days." And they said, "Well, we're running up." So we got tickets. She sings with the Sweet Adelines, I think, out in Oakfield somewhere. And they just won third in the competition down in the States. And she said to me, "Your choir is a lot of fun." He said, "Great, the sound is great, the diction is great." And she said, "I'm going to go back and tell our director to try and look at Love is Everything and the music for the Sweet Adelines."
oh wow.
Yeah, Robert.
I don't have one story because I probably have at least 130 of them.
We only have now.
I know. I will say this, because everybody was really great during the concerts and before and after. You cleared out so efficiently, there was barely anything left. But
Oh, God.
one person, and you know who you are,
Uh-oh.
left a dairy yogurt parfait backstage. And all I have to say is shame!
Oh, my God.
because we were so crowded.
Two quick things. It can be kind of stressful to be on stage at 5 and you're like, oh crap, do I? You're like, and you start to, you're like, what song is this? But Jody's face sometimes, especially when things happen on stage, and like, especially like, and the second thing I love, I know I'm supposed to look at you all the time, and I'm gonna admit that I didn't for once because I saw Shadrach. flailing
Yeah.
Successor fell off, he went with it.
Judy, Howie, and then Frank. I was totally blown away by the concert, but what really, really got me was the audience reaction immediately to Sean's.
Howie?
Okay, so first of all, if you've met my kids, it took years for my daughter to come to sing concert. So last year she started to come, and she said to me this year, well, it wasn't your voice.
Oh my God. Okay.
And then the other thing I want to say is, you know, when I started in the choir, there was this whole thing like, everyone has to dress exactly the same, right? Like the white shirts, the awful white shirts. And then we went to this all black thing, and then there was the accent stuff, and now it's like accent, but come as you want, and this individuality, I have to say, when I was standing backstage at one point, and just the way people are expressing themselves, to me, is something incredibly special about what this organization is doing for us to do that, and how we educated our audiences around just the power of expression. So I hope that was great.
I think to touch down on something similar to what Howie's saying, I really enjoyed this season. I enjoyed a lot of the new blood that's come in. There's an energy that's really affected the choir in a positive way, and it really made this season a lot of fun. The guys I was standing behind on the back riser and who I've been sitting with for the whole season have really made it a lot of fun, as well as learning the songs. They've made it a joy to come to week after week.
And now I do need to know your name. My name is Aubrey. I just wanted to say it's a little bit off topic, but I really joined this choir like on a team, and I've never been one thing before. Considered my life. You guys have been so awesome, so welcoming, and I just want to say thank you guys. P.S. Aubrey plays the flute, just so everybody knows that. And my partner, I had about 6 people come, small kids, old parents, and my partner and her friend Kat, she comes in every now and again. Everybody liked it. The feedback was, boy, don't you guys have a lot of fun with the fast songs. I really like the fast ones. The slow, sultry ones, not as much. So I'm not sure what they're hoping for if we like started tempo this and like build that. But it's feedback to take. Well, you know, that drummer didn't quite get it right. you guys look like this.
Oh my God.
Because this sideline was so bad. It's the captain and then he can't see me. It was really fun watching it. Okay, I saw a hand over here.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, but it's Sunday Woods since everybody else is talking. I've enjoyed this a lot. This was my first year, I guess first season. I've been coming to your concerts since 2003, and I'd always come along with
That's your
John.
partner, Chris.
Yeah. Well, John Shrike would always drag me onto these, and the early years it was because it, you know, it was a dating thing to do, right? But I actually enjoyed it. And then I would always say, I know I would keep coming back every year after, you know, married. I didn't need to keep coming to it, but I still would. But I really enjoyed it. But I always said, it's not for me, it's not for me. I just don't think I would enjoy singing in a choir. And so I thought, what the hell, I'll try it. And I've really enjoyed it. So it's been, thank you all, of course, for this. But it's really nice to be on the other side of the stage, and I'll definitely be coming back.
So Rob and I grabbed a row of our friends, and it's funny, but each of them had a different favorite song. And they were kind of amazed at the diversity of the group. They didn't know what to expect when it was only me choir. But we all looked fantastic. The stories were amazing, and I think they came and spoke to some of you about the stories. But that really pulled the show together. So well done.
I am still addicted to this wine.
Come on, Barry.
Alcohol. Oh my God, what an
This year has been really, really incredible for me personally, because a couple of years ago when I first joined the choir, I was in it for a season and then I quit because I was finding it really hard to come out and find community. And since coming back, I've really appreciated the amount of time and the amount of effort that people are putting into making the trans and non-binary people in the choir feel not only tolerated but accepted and welcome. So having little things like the universal dressing room and the little tent that Jordan and I like hung out in for a while, and you know, just and people really just opening conversations and making space for people's stories to be told and appreciated has really made a huge, huge difference in my team. So thank you all so very much.
So speaking of being addicted to choir, we actually at the table were discussing how much we were going to miss the community over the summer. And we were thinking of encouraging people to go to choir. They also run on Tuesdays, and then we can come back here and never miss each other. Because I don't enjoy the community that I found here, so we're all talking about it. And obviously it's not alone.
Where's
So
choir?
I do not know.
Exactly.
Sorry, near Christie Station.
Oh, Blur and Christie.
Yeah.
I just know it runs on Tuesdays.
It's on Clinton Street.
Tuesdays. We already run on Tuesdays.
I forget the.
It's definitely a way to stay fit.
So if people are interested in singing and still sitting together, well, you can tell you're here every summer. I thought
As long as you come back here and sit down.
Space, right? Like, you have to come back.
No.
Hurt my back. After the concert and everything was tidied up, I went home to finally relax. Long wait, especially for us production people. And I watched City News, and I was reading emails on the computer at the same time, and I heard this really terrible song right near the end of the piece, and I thought, who the hell would be doing J'entends l'amour tiki-takas on City News? And here it was us.
Oh my God.
They led the 2-minute segment with that terrible song.
I forgot to mention about Anthony. I've never seen Anthony as relaxed as he was. And I have to say, I really enjoy Anthony. He has to make obviously. He obviously has to make some tough decisions, but he's made this season a lot of fun. And sometimes I'm sure he goes unnoticed, and you know, he should be noticed for all his work.
This will be a good segue because we're going to segue into people that would like to come up and give little thank yous to unsung heroes or moments that, you know, you really appreciated something. So let's start with Ralph.
So we all appreciate Beth, and she's got so many talents, and her arranging, her patience, her hard work. What we sometimes miss is her truly wicked sense of humor. And where it really came out was we were all at Pioneer Village, and Jody had gone off with her favorite kids. Oh, sorry, with the ensemble.
Library's open.
Can you do something sort of with choreography? And Anthony's going, yeah, I can do that. And so we're into Happy, and Anthony's really trying to get those of us who are more than rhythmically challenged back into line. And he's stealing from Stephen, and we're all doing the church lady clap. Beth does not engage herself with things musical when Jody is in the room because that's Jody's domain. But all of a sudden the music stops and we're all looking up to the front and her head sort of pops up above the music stand and all we hear is, friends do not let friends clap on one of the bridges.
You can stay there and tell us. We can see you.
Now, this year, the people who were particularly diligent and very working on disability access, things like this. Some people comment on this video, most of the time it's not that obvious, and some people do get comments about my understanding of because I want to be able to sing by the end of the day. Actually was actually treated with a great deal of, I don't even want to say, with a great deal of respect, being listened to and having harmonies and love and having to go on at the time. So I want to thank everybody for being
You can stay there.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna get out of the chair. Kick it over. So for a while there was, in case you guys didn't know, I'm the baby of the choir. I'm 16. And I know for a while there was an issue of me being too young. And I was thrown out of the choir for about a week. And then I remember getting an email from Jody going like, "You're back in the choir!" And I was like, I was at my computer crying, and I was like, oh my god. So I wanted to thank everyone who was involved in getting me back.
18 plus?
But yes, and Diane batted for you and worked this 3 years. It's all good and we're happy to see you. Okay. Other thank yous?
Yeah, because I had a junior corner before, right?
All right. How about those dancers?
Come on,
Jody. time they got on stage and they were dancing, the smiles were like from here to here. Every time through rehearsal, I'm like, look at them dance, they're in heaven. I loved it.
Will?
It's adorable.
Everyone I've spoken to really enjoyed the fact of what we were wearing. We were ready to act really were. There was one person who really stood out, and the person asked me, who was the flight attendant in the back of the
So I figured that in life and in shows, everybody needs a right-hand person, and I couldn't have had, for helping me wrangle all of you wonderful people, having David Smith as my right-hand man on stage
Before I get to Sean, could I do a shout out to the board? If you're on the board, please stand. Some people come to one meeting, some people come to 5, but if anybody's ever put forth a song or been on the committee, please stand. It takes many hands to make light work. Please stand.
Come on, Doc.
I was just saying that I think many of you in many different forms, but just in case you missed any of the other ones, I just want to say this choir is absolutely the largest commitment of donors to my campaign by a long shot. And it was like one just led to another to another. And a part of that, and also this and that, is, I don't know, I guess when I started exploring the masculine side of my personality and who I am, I was really afraid. I've spent a lot of my life very afraid of men. I'm very afraid of I know how to relate. And what I found in this choir is that there's this openness to the who identifies men in this choir of inclusive masculinity, that they don't own it, that other people can explore it and express it too. And I feel really, really good. And I just want to thank you folks for that, because that's not something I ever expected to feel. So thank you so much for your
I think I'm the only person in the choir who ever sang baritone, tenor, and awesome choir.
I need to thank Sam, because he's one of those unsung heroes every single rehearsal. What do you want to do about chairs? What do you want to do about stands? What do you want to do about keyboard? What do you want to do? So there's Sam and kind of a posse, like Judy and yeah, exactly. So if you're one of those schleppers, please stand. Now, was anybody involved in costuming this time
really costume.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't.
She's trying to give her a bag of sweets.
Huh?
She's just trying to give away her box of sweets.
Well, I should correct that. Kathy Mazet actually made a whole bunch of extra bandanas and pocket squares and things, which didn't actually get used, but we had on hand just in case people showed up without accessories. Yes, Kathy Mazet.
She went shopping for all fabric that got turned into pocket squares and
Jordan? I just want to thank Krista because we kind of pulled her into this social magical at the last second, and she choreographed everything, and everything she said do this, and I was like, no. Me. Yes, by 9 or before, it's because you were on production or you had something really important to do. If you stand and you're one of those people,
Get up, girl.
Oh my
Come on, Johnny!
So, y'all know that coming to a many success and can support it, but I think the section will help to another level of memorization and stuff. So thank you to Diane and the company for
anybody that led a section or
Eric's from
or a company section. How about those attendance section leaders? For section. Where? Where are you, KK? Thank you, KK. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
It's probably one of the best things I've done in my entire life. And I'll tell you why. I was a little freaked out. And Chris can tell you because I was practicing in front of the mirror. But it was a moment, and I got a glimpse of what you get to see every time we are there. And I got on the stage and I saw everyone of you in the spotlight smiling at me, and I've never felt so supported in my life.
I'm interested in hearing about Rick's partner, Rick.
His question to me immediately after the concert was, did I screw up? He really enjoyed it. He was worried that he
You give him a chocolate, please?
Sure.
Okay, Court, then Jay, then Michael, then Anthony.
I want to thank the ensemble for enduring the absolute worst gig.
So it was a gig where nobody was listening. And everybody
Oh, we've had that.
Okay, not only, so nobody was listening. It was very, very loud. I don't know, like, really what. Yeah, it was a party, and that was fine. And like, we stood up on the stairs and like did our thing, and realized very quickly that they were absolutely not To the point where people were like walking very, very near Diane. Like through Diane. I couldn't see that. And I would like to just like thank the ensemble because somehow we sang Here Comes the Sun and we fucking nailed it.
I'd like to thank everybody who donated either their hard-earned money or items to the gift baskets. I thought they looked great. Like to say something else. And we got a lot of compliments on
great too.
good, I'm glad. We were able to raise over $2,500 from those baskets. That's just in one day. That was
donated to a gift basket, please do. We'd like to appreciate you. And I'm sure lots did.
How much shoveling chili cans over there? I know. It's a bottomless bag, man. Last year we were thanking people for being in the choir.
It was Michael.
Okay.
Come on, Michael.
I would like to really thank Natasha for what you know. So coming in mid-season is difficult for anyone, but coming in mid-season and then getting like 500 emails from me about ticket sales a day. Forwards and forwards and forwards, but she was able to secure like media partnerships, get City there, and just take off like all sorts of stuff that we didn't even have to worry about anymore it's here. Starting in April, and it was like, oh, well, we've got a show in 6 weeks that we need to sell out. So there was a lot of hours there, a lot of late night emails, changes going back and forth, but I
And while we're at it, let's thank Michael for the video that got sent to Galen. I would also like to thank Michael because it takes two to exchange those emails. And the entire board. I've never felt so supported in a position 6 weeks in. And I also, although it'll be difficult to give chocolate to everyone, over 75% of those ticket sales came from people who knew someone in the choir. So thank you for pushing and pushing and pushing. And I know we asked you 1,000 times, and you probably asked your friends and family and colleagues 1,000 times, but it worked. So the matinee at capacity sold out in and left. The evening show was very, very close. The event raised over $16,000, which was $4,000 more than the night was. So thank you.
Two things. I would like to thank Stephen Martin for basically stepping in almost at the last minute and taking on such a merry party, mainly because none of us wanted to. And he did a great job, and he got a lot of flack for it because it was the last minute, but I threw him in that situation, so... Second thing, I want to thank the people who stood up and told their stories, their Seize the Day stories. First of all, it was kind of vague. I know from the beginning it was purposely vague what a Seize the Day story was, and that sort of didn't help towards a month before the concert. We still didn't have a lot of stories, and then there was a situation where we took people's very personal, intimate stories and told them we're going to change them because they're too long or something's not right with them. But people still stuck with it, and I am so thankful that you did, because your stories were wonderful. And some of the feedback from audience members was that it added so much to the choir. So, for all the people who told their stories.
I just wanted to say on behalf of the Toronto Blue Jays bullpen, which has been struggling somewhat this year, that I think we should nominate Jody Malone as backup I don't know whether Dan is here tonight, but Dan deserves a bonus thanks for making CDs for those of us who are.
Just want to say thank you to all the folks that were involved in Social Magical, including Mike and I think Doug, who did the cards.
Yeah.
There were a lot of work for that. So Jordan, Chris, the staff, Dan's up here, Mike, and Doug.
So we're safe, and that's
Harder!
I just want to know if you still have the deal where if you bring somebody into the choir, you get a free semester. Because I know of at least two people from the audience who are joining us.
Killed that. Actually, charge it.
So one thing that we all use, and I know for me it's essential when memorizing my music, we did thank Dan for creating the CDs, but the rehearsal tracks themselves, and I'm not sure everyone knows how much work actually goes into that. So a big thank you to everybody that does the rehearsal tracks.
On a related note, on Sunday we were all exhausted. I could barely get out of bed. What did I do? Started scanning music for December.
And Michael messages me on Facebook, and he's like, so I'm just doing some scanning for rehearsal tracks, and I emailed back, so do you want me to come over? I did not, but it was a little bit of a joke. And the rehearsal tracks, because I did them, I'm going to have chocolate, and that ends the job.
Virgins, I swear.